The average roofing company is spending $10,000 a month on marketing and is wasting somewhere between $30,000 and $60,000 a year on the wrong channels. If you're a roofing or home service business owner, this video is for you. Because that's what the home service industry data shows when we look at companies that do not have the proper tracking in place. I was just talking to a roofing owner who told me they were cutting their Google Ads budget in half to put more money into their local magazine ads. And my question is, why? What did the data show? So let's dive in. My name's Ariel Cohen with Marketing 411. And the question, how did you hear about us, is the most expensive question in roofing marketing because people don't remember how they actually found you. And I know you can relate. Today, I'm going to walk you through the exact setup we use with our clients so they know down to the dollar what every marketing channel is actually producing. I'm talking about 3 key components, and I'll keep each one practical on what it is, how it works, and why you can't miss it. So let's start with the thing that trips up almost every company I work with. Your Facebook dashboard, your Meta dashboard, says you got 20 leads last month at $40 each. Then you go and look over at your Google dashboard and it says you got 15 leads at $125 each. So just based on that, it looks like Meta, Facebook is winning, right? Because you got more leads at a cheaper cost. Here's the problem. When we audited the company to see where the conversions were actually happening, it was reported that Google had 3 times more conversions. And when we matched those leads that we saw from Google and from Meta to their CRM, the Google actually outperformed Facebook by 38%. Facebook and Google both have reasons they take credit for as many leads as possible. Their platforms, while can be really good, are not always properly tracking. They're measuring all different things like clicks, form fills, but they're not measuring actual jobs on the board. And so if you're making a budget decision based on what the ad platform tells you, you're working with inflated numbers or numbers that are not accurate. And that's very important. So how do you get the real numbers is the question you need to know. Here are the 3 pieces, and I'll keep it very simple. Piece number 1, tracking your phone calls. 60 to 70% of your roofing leads are going to come in through a phone call or through various sources via your phone. Now, if you have the same phone number on your website, your Google Ads, your Facebook, your trucks, your mailers, you have no idea which one actually made the phone ring. This fix is very straightforward, very simple. Anyone could do it because all you do is set up different tracking numbers for each channel. One for Google, so you could see who clicked and who called from Google. One for Facebook, that's different. One for your mailers, one for your trucks, and so on and so forth. And if they type in the URL directly, it's even a different number on the website. So every single one of those numbers still forwards to your main office line. Nobody knows the difference. Your team still answers the phone the same way they always do. The homeowner doesn't notice anything, but now you have actual data that says this call came from Google and this call came from Facebook and this other one came from a yard sign. And that's the difference between knowing what's working and guessing. And if it's up to me, I don't like guessing. I want to bet on what I know is going to work. Piece number 2 is actually tracking your form submissions. Now you might say, okay, Ariel, I have forms on the site and I can see who submits. No, I'm talking about when someone fills out the form on your website, you need to know exactly what URL and ad or source got them there. And the way this works is simple. When you set up your ads, when you set up any of your marketing campaigns, you add a small tag to the end of the URL. And what this is going to do is that every time someone fills out the form, there's like a hidden field that basically captures that tag automatically. So instead of just getting, oh, John Smith wants a roof estimate, let's say, you actually get, okay, John Smith wants a roofing estimate and he came from our spring storm campaign on Facebook. That tells us a lot more information that we need to know to make better marketing decisions. And now your web person, your ad manager, they can set this up. It only takes about an hour, but it's really important when making good decisions for your marketing. And once it's in place, there's not much you need to do from there except for track it and make the best decisions for your company, because now every form fill is going to tell you exactly where it came from. And now piece number 3, connecting all the things I mentioned, and this is actually tied to your revenue. So most roofing companies skip this one, and this is where the whole picture comes together. So no matter what CRM you use, and I'll just throw out a couple notable ones like JobNimbus, AccuLinks, Roofer, SalesRabbit, right? Whatever CRM it is, the lead source has to be attached to the contact record. Here's why. I can't tell you how many times I see people pull reports from their CRM and it's not accurate because things were not tagged properly. So let's say you're buying leads, shared leads from an aggregator at $40 a pop. I know we all don't like that. Just hear me out, okay? And you're getting 50 leads a month. It sounds great, right? But if you're only closing 2 of the 50, that means your actual cost per closed job from that source is maybe $1,000+. And then let's say Google, on the other hand, is sending you leads at $250, which looks expensive, but you're actually closing 30% of them. Your cost per closed job from Google is a lot less. So the expensive channel on the front end is actually half the price, and the cheap one on the back end when it comes to revenue. Now here's the thing. You would never see that if you were only looking at just the cost per lead. And when the lead source is tied to the closed deal in your CRM, you could actually pull a report at the end of the month that says, hey, we spent $5,000 on Google, we closed 4 roofs, and we bought $65,000 in revenue. Okay, so 5,000 on Google, closed 4, 65K in revenue, right? That's the real ROI. So counting clicks doesn't tell you any of that. Now here's what happens when you don't have this in place. And this is the part that keeps me and should keep most business owners up at night. A roofing company is running Google ads, Meta ads. Facebook shows 20 form submissions at $75 a lead, and Google shows 15 at $150 per lead. As an owner, I look at those numbers and I cut Google for obvious reasons. The cost per lead is higher. But for the first month or two, everything seems fine. But then I start to notice the lead volume starts to hold, the closed deals start to hold, and by month 3, the whole pipeline starts drying up. And trust me, I've made this mistake, so I'm speaking from experience. Here's what happened. Facebook was converting people who had already seen a Google ad on retargeting. So Google was actually the top of funnel, warming up people. And then when they saw Facebook, they were actually converting. Okay, and that's the marketing funnel that was happening. So when Google went away, there was no top of funnel driving these people in, and Facebook wasn't converting as many people. So by accident, the owner actually killed the demand engine that kept the machine and pipeline running. And so by the time you feel that in your numbers, it's already been 60 to 90 days, and you've already lost tens of thousands of dollars in jobs that you can start to feel. Now, I know tracking isn't the most exciting part of marketing, especially if you're not a marketer. And if you're a business owner, you're just like, someone just please handle this for me. Okay, nobody got into roofing because they wanted to set up call tracking software. Okay, but a roofing company spending money on ads or any marketing without this setup is making every budget decision on maybe a fraction of the real picture. So if anything's untracked and calls or forms and different platforms we talked about, you have no real way to verify. So it's important you actually have the 3 pieces I talked about today connected. So you have actual numbers to make better decisions for your marketing. So thanks for spending the time in this video. And if you're spending money right now on Google, on Meta, on local service ads, on your website, on your SEO, on any of your marketing channels, and you cannot pull a report that shows you exactly how many leads, cost per lead, and the revenue that came from each channel, right? Your tracking has gaps. And that's the first thing we look at in any marketing assessment we do. We can go through your ad accounts, your website, your lead flow, and find where the gaps are and where things are falling through the cracks, such as this valuable data. All you have to do is book a link in the description. We could talk about marketing assessment and stop letting things drop in your marketing so you can build a pipeline that's predictable and closes more deals for your roofing company. My name's Ariel Cohen. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for joining.